lot of people have asked me over the years how I accomplish my New Year's resolutions. I know that most people don't. You know, they tend to forget about them, or they just fall by the wayside, or they decide, it's not worth it. But I usually accomplish about 80% of my New Year's resolutions every year. I usually set about 10 to 12 resolutions. I love resolution setting, it's kind of like a game to me. So a lot of my friends ask how I have time to do these things. These are the top 5 things I keep in mind whenever I set my own personal New Year's resolutions. Number 1, you want to set measurable goals, not vague ones. Say your New Year's resolution is to get healthy. What does that even mean? Does it mean you want to lose 20 pounds? Does it mean you want to improve your diet? Does it mean you want to lower your LDL cholesterol? HDL is the good stuff. You don't want LDL though. There could be any variety of factors out there that you want to change. So set something measurable. If it's that you want to improve your blood work, make sure you know what that looks like at the beginning of the year. If it's diet, keep a food log. Whatever it is, just be sure that you can measure it. Number 2, do not set resolutions based off of things outside of your control. You can't depend on other people for this. You can try, but do you want that kind of risk? If you have a goal to get into a certain prestigious university, that's an admirable goal, but you're not on the admissions board, and ultimately that decision does not rest with you. Instead, your goal should be to really pull your grades up, to get involved with extracurriculars, to be the best you can be. 3, break it down into manageable chunks. I write a lot. I've actually published 3 books, and one of my goals for this year was to write my 4th book. I wanted the draft of novel number 4 to clock in at about 70 to 75,000 words. So that meant I needed to write approximately 6,000 words a month, or 1,500 words each week. You want to break these down monthly and weekly. And if you're like me, you want to put them in your planner. It's my Christmas one right now because it is Christmas time. Up here are my monthly goals. I have write X amount of words. Here are my weekly goals. It says write 1,500 words. I will make sure that every day when I'm getting my to-do list done, I have to see that and I'll be like, okay, I should schedule time for this. Unless you're seeing it regularly and you actually have a game plan to get something done, it's not going to get done. 4, and I'm sometimes guilty of this one, make sure that you do not base a resolution off of a relatively fleeting hobby. Around November to December of 2015, I was getting very into the idea of canning, and I thought that I might want to start canning as a hobby. So I had bought some of the tools, and I was setting my New Year's resolutions, and one of them was to can X amount of things. That wasn't a thing that happened. Because I didn't have any long-term interest in it, certainly not enough to warrant dedicating myself to it for the next year. Number 5 is to tell people about your goal, but not to talk about what you are going to do. Only discuss what you have done. In telling people about your goal, it sort of holds you accountable. It holds you to it, and they'll often ask for updates, etc. But when you talk about what you're going to do, what you have in the works, we often overestimate our own progress. Think of that person who always says like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write a novel, but they've never actually put a pen to paper, they've just thought about it a lot. If they haven't even done any research, much less made an outline or written a book, the likelihood that they're going to accomplish that goal is pretty slim. But if they talk about it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, talk is very cheap. There's a reason that's such a cliche saying. I hope this advice has been useful in helping you to develop your own New Year's resolutions. So comment them below. Mine are to read 30 books, again, that's usually an annual one for me, to finish drafting and then revising my 4th book, graduate from university, move abroad, improve my Chinese, and there will no doubt be more on my list before 2017 is here. Don't be lazy like him and just sleep all day.